Fletcher, just for a true freshman on a first game like this to step up like that the way CJ did, what does that say about him? And then just you guys and your experience in general in these big games late.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's a guy that, I mean, obviously you got a guy like Braden, probably the best point guard in the country. You got to play behind him a little bit, but you find your way when you compete. He competes every day in practice, so that was expected. He's made shots on us all summer, shots you just shake your head at, and you're like, man, how do you make that? But he came in ready to go, not afraid of the moment, and knocked down 4 huge shots, but 3 huge ones that just really sparked us in the second half.
Hey, CJ, talk us through those 3 straight threes that you hit right there in the middle of the second half that really kind of flipped the game for Purdue.
PJ's always told me to look for my shot, and that's something I've been working on throughout the season. So when I was open, I just felt like I needed to let it fly. And so once I hit the first one, I just knew that I would shoot the next one.
Trey, can you kind of take us through just, I guess, your impressions of this defensive performance tonight and how that kind of set you guys up for this win?
We were just kind of, I mean, we're competitive on that side. We cared about it. We knew it was a really good team that we're playing against, and we followed the scout. We did a really good job.
Trey, we saw Alabama throw different matchups at you, some of Nelson, some of Amori. Can you kind of talk about what each of those guys bring differently?
Yeah, Nelson can move a little bit better. And so PJ, gave me some post-up opportunities versus him. And then when Cliff was in the game, we tried to get into more ball screens because we knew Cliff was going to be in drop coverage, and that gets Braden downhill, and you get me in the short roll. So it was just, however they're going to guard, we have counters to it.
CJ, right over here. Talk about the crowd. What's it like to be here on the floor with that great crowd?
Amazing. I loved it.
Trey, you just kind of touched on a little bit, but what was your guys' approach to manufacturing matchups? It seems like obviously you closed the game out at center, but before that, it seemed like you always had a pretty favorable situation. How did you manufacture those?
Yeah, well, it's really based on what they were doing. It was really based on, like, for me specifically, who was guarding me, and then we kind of just, the plays go based on that. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything special, really. It was just picking out whatever they were doing and finding a counter to it.
Fletcher, Matt said yesterday that your bench had to be better than Alabama's bench to kind of separate yourself in this game. And, points-wise, maybe not, but you got great contributions from Raleigh Burgess, from Caleb First, obviously CJ. How big was this maybe in terms of those guys providing that depth going forward now?
Yeah, it's what's going to make us a great team. It's what's going to put us from not winning the Big Ten, win the Big Ten. It's that simple. When you got games that deep into the season, Tuesday night games, we need everybody to step up. We need everybody to do their job. And that's what we emphasize all summer. We talk about it, but I don't know if guys really realize how important it is. We talk about taking care of the ball. Tonight we had 3 turnovers. I mean, that's how you win basketball games. So just doing your job, whether you play 4 minutes, whether you play 23 off the bench. It's coming in, doing your role, and doing it to the best of your ability and as hard as you can.
Fletcher, this is the second game this year already, right before the half, where you've kind of hit a real late, shot clock 3 there, right before the half. Talk us about your comfort level right in those situations, because that seems to be something that you kind of become known for.
Yeah, it's just another shot. It's something that helps out a lot, getting momentum on our side, but it's also us just trying to get the ball and get a good shot for Purdue, whether it be a pull-up 3 or whether it be a layup. We're going to take what we're given.
Trey, you guys shot 57% in the second half. Just talk about the change from the first half to the second half being so successful from the floor in the second half.
I don't really have a lot to say there. I think we just kind of got used to what they were doing, and I don't know, we hit more shots. I feel like we got great looks the entire day, and so when you get great looks and you got good shooters and people who can score the ball on your team, great offensive players, they're going to go in.
Trey, right here, it was a tough 26 for you. 23 shots. Just describe kind of you trying to get in rhythm, and sometimes they didn't go, and just kind of that interplay all night.
Yeah, I mean, it was. There was a couple, especially in the first half, at the beginning of the game. There was a couple shots that I shot that I thought should have went down. But as the game went on, I thought it did. I was a little bit more efficient. So,
Trey, they were starting to extend the rebounding margin. I don't think it reached double digits, but you only get out rebounded by 2 at the end of the game. How important was it to kind of maintain where they were and also maybe pick up some ground in the rebounding category in the second half?
Yeah, I think that was the most important part of the game. That's what Coach told us in our days of practice, whether it be the free throw line, box outs, or just everything. I mean, you got people coming off the bench. Number 0, Phylon, he's coming in the game, and I think he had 18 points, but he's going crashing hard every single time. He's a guard. Every single person on their team really crashes hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a top 3 rebounding team in the country. And so when, we're able to, I wish we would out-rebound them, but when we cut that margin down, it really helped us.
Fletch, you mentioned the 3 turnovers. Have you had a game before where Matt, I'm assuming, was pretty happy with turnovers after a game? And just how were you guys able to control the ball?
Yeah, he was excited. He smiled in the locker room. But it's just something he emphasizes so much, something that's gave us losses in the past. And a team like Alabama that's really good in transition, you just can't turn it over if you want to win the ball game. So we did that. We did our job, and we took care of it. But now it's continuing to do that every game.
CJ, what was the previous loudest experience of your life? Is this number 1 now?
Yeah, definitely. I would say so.
What is that like as a competitor when not only you're succeeding, but then it's rewarded like that by 15,000 people?
I feel like it just gives me a boost of energy and makes me want to play harder than I was before.
Brian did the same.
Fletch, can you just put yourself in CJ's shoes? You played against Duke and Gonzaga and all them as a freshman. Can you just put in perspective how hard these moments are for freshmen, or can be for freshmen, and how easy he made it look just now?
Yeah, I think when you put the work in, it's not very difficult, and he does that. Very confident in himself, as he should be, because he puts the work in, and it's just what he does. He makes tough shots and gives us a boost.
Trey, people talked about not having Zach and how much that was going to set Purdue back. And because of foul trouble tonight, you had to play 4 big significant minutes or in key roles, and I thought everybody thrived in that moment. How was Raleigh and even for I guess include Caleb in there, a guy who started in the past but didn't play a whole lot last year, really kind of realized there's going to be moments where they're needed and they have to step up and do that this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just said it. I mean, both of those guys came in and really gave us a boost. They always rebound. They always play hard. And, both those guys are really good players. And so, to have those guys coming off the bench, that's how you can tell we're a really good team.
Anything else? Thank you, guys. Alabama head coach Nate Oates will be in next.